Hello, welcome to this new video. Today I'm going to start a new series on Wireshark. And have you ever wondered how the internet or packets travel or move across the network? Or how about how hackers are able to intercept sensitive data? And that's something that you see on the news all the time. Well, most likely that's by utilizing Wireshark, which is a network sniffer. Now, Wireshark is not the only network sniffer, it's the most popular network sniffer, so there are more out there. And what makes Wireshark interesting is that it's free, it's been around since forever, and is a project that is constantly being updated by the developers. So you're always getting a new version. You can run it on Windows, Linux, and Mac. As you could see right here, I'm running this on my Mac, and I'm capturing the traffic going from my computer out. But depending on how you configure Wireshark or where you configure Wireshark, you're going to be able to capture traffic from other computers and other places. Now, let me be realistic here. The fact that you are able to capture traffic does not mean that you're going to be able to read or understand the traffic that is being transmitted, and we'll get to it at another point. Now, if you are this video or this series of videos, and I'm going to say specifically this video you're watching right now, is for beginners. People who want to get familiar with Wireshark, they want to have a better understanding of what a network sniffer is, how it works, and why you would need that. If you know that, well, just check the other videos, right? Or you can watch this as a refresher. Now, a sniffer is a piece of software that is going to see the traffic in the network. And let me bring a network diagram over, and we're going to expand on that. Okay, so here I have an oversimplified network diagram that I pulled from the web. This is not something that I created. But let's go over this one more time. So let's say that you have, this is your network, right? And you have computers, right? Let's say that we have a computer right here that is connected to this network. And we have another computer down here that is connected to this network as well. Now, when you run Wireshark, by default, you're going to be running Wireshark on this device, and this is the device. Let's say that we're using this device as an example. All the traffic that is going to be captured is going to be the one from this computer. And as a matter of fact, let me just clear this and let me do it again, because I want to do it a little bit better. So let me have let me draw a computer here one more time. But this time we're going to be pointing to the switch, right? Because everything on the network is going to be connected to the switch in one way or another at one point or another. So when you do that, we have these computers connected to this network switch that is connected to that VLAN. So we're going to ignore the VLAN for 1 second. So everything is connected to the switch. When you run Wireshark, let's say that we're going to be using this computer as an example. We're going to be running Wireshark. We're going to be capturing the traffic that is traveling on this network interface on this computer in and out, depending on the type of captures that you're doing. But that is great. However, that's not going to help you analyze the traffic that is happening on this computer or this computer. For that, you need to strategically position Wireshark and do a couple of things to make that work. So that from this computer, you're going to be able to capture traffic running on another computer. You have to tap into it. You have to do what is known as a network span, or you have to use a network tap, or you have to do some type of man in the middle and redirect the traffic over from one network switch port in here to the other. Back in the days when we used to have hubs in networks, those hubs used to transmit the traffic out of every port. That's not the case in switches anymore, right? Each port on a switch is going to be its own domain. You're not going to be able to see the traffic that is taking place at another port on the switch by default. So that's something that you have to keep in mind. So why do you need Wireshark? You need Wireshark for many purposes. If you're a network administrator, system administrator or cybersecurity, you need to know Wireshark. Let's say, let me give you an example, that this DNS server that we have here is experiencing connection problems. Any type of problems that are happening, you see people's not even not able to resolve DNS entries, or when they try to go to the web, it times out. It could be anything. What you could do in that case, you could install Wireshark on this server and analyze all the network traffic that is happening out of this interface. And then you're going to be able to troubleshoot, right? Because let me show you this right here so you remember. Let me come back. So this is just an example of Wireshark running. And as you could see, I'm going to be able to select any of the packets, and I'm going to be able to see what's happening at the transport protocol, which in this case is TCP. But, if you're using UDP, you're going to be able to see that too. And you're going to be able to analyze that information to hopefully be able to troubleshoot the network problems that are happening. Now, probably installing Wireshark on this server, even though it's possible, it is not the best course of action, because if you are working in a production environment, you try to keep those servers as efficient as possible, and maybe installing Wireshark is not one of those things. So what you can do, you can have your laptop or Wireshark running on anything else, right? And then you're not gonna how do you call that? Do a man in the middle or anything. What you could do is that you are gonna mirror or expand this port that this server is connected to, so that all the traffic that is going through that port is being forwarded to this port that your computer is connected to. And you're going to be running Wireshark here, and you're going to be able to determine and see all the traffic that is going in and out of here. That is one of the best ways that you could do. You could do that. You can also set up a network tab, which is something physical that you can buy. And we're going to get to it. Remember, this is just the beginnings, the foundations of Wireshark. So you need to know that if you're a system administrator, if you're a network administrator, and if you want to get into the cybersecurity field, you do have to know Wireshark. And by saying that you have to know, I am not referring to being an expert at it, because you may not need to be an expert, but you need to know the basic of Wiresharks. And then when there's something you don't know, you research, right? That's how you learn and you get better. You don't have to know it all. You do something, you get better. You do something, you learn, you get better. And that's how you do it. So you want to do that. Now, when it comes to performing network packet captures or running a network sniffers, you need to have the authorization of the owner of the systems. Now, in this case, this is an internal network, as you can see, and perhaps you are the one in charge of all this. But if you are a visitor, and let's just expand this network right here, we're going to install an access point, right? We're going to install an access point, and you're going to have a device connected to the access point, obviously wirelessly. And then that access point is connected to the network in the same VLAN. And then you decide to run Wireshark and try to do a network, a port span in here to do your magic. If you don't have authorization, that is an illegal act, and there could be legal reactions to that if you get caught. Now, just make sure that you have proper authorization when you are performing a network scan. The reason for that is because depending on the type of protocol that is being utilized on these servers, you're going to be able to see the data. And again, if the protocol is unencrypted, you're going to be able to definitely read whatever data that is being transmitted over the network at that specific time. So that's something you have to keep in mind. Now, so let's talk about installing Wireshark. And something you have to understand is that Wireshark is an open source solution. It's been around since forever, meaning that there are many different sites hosting Wireshark. I strongly advise you to download it from the original websites, and that is wireshark.org. There is a wireshark.com site. I believe this site is not associated to the real Wireshark. It's just basically, they played it really smart. Probably the .com was not registered. They did, and they're running advertisement because they know most people use, wireshark.com if they want to get to it. But the site is wireshark.org. And when you run it, as you could see, if you go to the download section, you're going to have the option of running that on different operating systems and different architectures. You have Windows, Mac, and Linux, and then you have the x64, the ARM64, so on and so forth. In my case, this is a Windows computer, so I'm going to run on Windows 64. And this is gonna download it to run this. It's not rocket science, but there are a couple of things you need to know, and I want to walk you through that. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna do, you're gonna click on install. They're gonna say notice, yes, accept the default, and this is what you have to pay attention to. You could leave it as the default options in here, but let me just expand on this. So you're going to install Wireshark, which is the application. You're going to install T-Sharp, which is basically the same thing as Wireshark, but it's command line based. It's text-based network protocol adapters, and then we're going to have to install the different external capture tools. We have Android DOM, we have ETW DOM, and we have this. Just accept the defaults because there's something I want to expand in the future. Make sure you have enough space on your computer to do that. You need obviously administrative privileges to perform this. Then you're going to have the option of installing or creating a network shortcut. Here it is. And then you're going to have the option of associating all these file extensions to Wiresharks. So I would strongly recommend you to do that unless you are using another type of sniffer, but I always do this. Just click on next, accept the defaults, and this is what you need to know. You need to install the MPCAP adapter or the drivers for your network card. And what the MPCAP adapter is, it's a virtual interface, or it's a driver to create a virtual interface on your computer that is going to be able to allow Wireshark to analyze the traffic that is being captured from the network. It is a library. Without the MPCAP adapter, you're not going to be able to successfully utilize Wireshark for network sniffing. As you can see here, I have an older version that is 1.55 and the current one is 1.79. So as of the time of this video, this is the current version of MPCAP that is automatically installed with Wireshark, but you could decide if you have it installed. The reason, one of the things with MPCAP adapters is that you may have other tools that rely on that to function. And if there's any compatibility issues, you're going to have some troubles between tools, right? So that's something to keep in mind. I know that I'm just relying on the MPCAP adapter for Wireshark, so I'm going to install the most current version of it. So I'm going to click on next, and then if you want to use the USB PCAP adapter, that I had a hard time saying that, you can do that, and that is to install Wireshark off of a USB drive. So I'm going to click on install, and from here on it's going to do its magic. There's not much that I'm going to show you here. If you get prompted for the MPCAP setup, just click agree, right? And something to keep in mind is that do you want that to support raw 802.11 traffic? a monitor mode for wireless network adapters, say yes. I mean, it's not going to hurt you. Something I'm going to expand this in a future video, but you're not going to be able to read all the management traffic with the MP cap adapter. You need a different type of adapter for wireless, I'm saying. And we'll get into it in the future. So I'm going to click on install, and that's going to keep on doing its magic. And it failed, the resources, blah, blah, blah. That's totally fine because I'm not going to use it for wireless. So I'm going to click on close. Okay, the reason is that I have a different wireless adapter for wireless sniffer that I use, not this one. So you shouldn't have that same problem. So it says that it is completed. So I'm going to click on next, finish. Okay, so my installation was successful. You may or may not have to reboot your computer after the installation. So if you're prompted to restart, say yes, because that's going to be used to load the new drivers that were installed on your computer. So when you run Wireshark for the first time, you're going to get something like this. And again, this is how it looks like on Windows with this version of Wireshark. So if you're watching this video in the future and there's a different version of Wireshark, it may look a little bit different. Or if you're using a different operating system, it may look a little bit different. The most important things out of this screen, out of this menu here, is selecting the capture interface, and this is what it means right here, right? So you can create a filter in here, a capture filter. We're not going to be talking about that, but you're going to have to select the interface that you want to perform the capture on. And let me bring that network diagram one more time because there's something I want to expand on that. So as you can see on this diagram, each device is going to have an interface to connect to the network. Now, in this case, it could be a physical interface, Ethernet, right? Or it could be a Wi-Fi adapter, a wireless card to connect to the network. Depending on your system, when you open Wireshark, it is going to detect all the physical interfaces on your network, even the loopback adapters and all the adapters that it sees, and you have to select the ones to capture the traffic. If you select the wrong interface, for instance, if I select the what do I have here? I have the built-in interface, which is the one I labeled that built-in because this was kind of confusing sometimes with so many interfaces. Or you can select one of the other interfaces that you see here. As you could see, they are not having any traffic going through. This that you see here is a sign of the traffic flowing through those interfaces. So that's going to be a beginner for you. Now, out of these two, which one is the one you want to select? You have to select the one that is transmitting the traffic that you would like to capture. In this case, this is very clear that it says adapter for loopback traffic capture. This is not what you want. You want to select that interface that is transmitting traffic at that specific time. And in my case, that is this network adapter. So to start capturing traffic, just in this case, double click on it. And as you could see, it's going to start the capture right now. We're going to be talking about customizing the views and all that. And as you could see, let's just review this real quick. I'm going to stop this capture by clicking on the stop button. And we're going to go over real quick the options of this screen. And again, we're going to explore this in the future. So if you find this information useful, make sure that you watch the other videos. As you could see right here, we have columns for the protocols. We have columns for the destination, for the source, and in this case, those are the IP addresses. We have columns for the time, and we have columns for the information that is happening. As you could see, we have different type of protocols. We have just regular unencrypted TCP protocol, and then we have TLS version 1.2. And if we had if we had FTP, if we had UDP, anything else, you will be able to see that here. Once you click on one of these packets, you're going to be able to expand and read the layer 2 and layer 4 information for that specific packets, right? As you could see here, this is the frame number, and this is going to tell you more about the frame. And then you're going to come here to the IP section, where it's going to show the source and destination IP addresses, and you're going to see more information about that. And then if we scroll down, we're going to get down to the section of the TCP right here, which is a transmission protocol, and how it took place, if it is a sync act, if it was a reset, or any of the other flags that you're going to find on TCP. Now, this is the beginner. Now, the fact that you are capturing traffic does not mean much as of now. You have to understand what to do and how to do it. But I'm going to say congratulations if you watch this video to the end, because you show the desire to learn Wireshark, and you're going to get a lot of it. I'm going to stop the video right here. If you found this information useful, all I ask you to do is to click on the like button. Consider subscribing to the channel to get notified of future content. And why not leave a nice comment in the comment section, because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. And also, if you feel that somebody can benefit from this video or any of the other videos in the channel, feel free to forward that information to them. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you on the next video.